guys and gals, this is Barbie Figueroa with RiseMarketingAndDesign.com, and thank you so much for watching my video. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about a subject that honestly I don't talk enough about on my channel, but is such a huge part of my story. And the reason that I'm inspired to create this video, and honestly I think it's going to kind of become a series because it's a very long story to tell, is because I know there's a lot of you who are web designers or service providers that you're probably going through a very similar struggle that I found myself in. Just the other day, I actually received a voice message, and I'm going to keep it private. I'm not going to name names, but from someone who is also a web designer and is struggling with some of the things that I struggled with big time. Things like not having enough time in the day, or feeling like you're being overworked and underpaid, or not having enough hours in the day to complete a project and just feeling complete and total burnout. I totally understand the pain. I totally understand the frustration. And then they went on to ask me, how was it that you made the leap from web designer to a top affiliate in a company? Like, it almost feels like those two things are like worlds apart and they have nothing to do with each other. Well, in this video series for my fellow web designers and service providers, because I've been there, done that, I want to share with you some of the struggles that I had to overcome, some of the problems that I had to recognize, and the solutions that I had to put into place before I could even take that leap full force into affiliate marketing. So if you're anything like me, if you're a happy web designer and you are just churning along, building your agency, hiring outsourcers to do the work, and you are happy with that, this video is not for you. This video is for the person that was like me, that they loved web design, they loved the craft, but they hated the business model. They just literally hated the business model. So if you are looking to break out from web design into affiliate marketing and you want to know the journey of how I did it, then keep on watching. And guys, again, this is Barbie Figueroa with RiseMarketingAndDesign.com. Please take just one little moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate that. All right, guys and gals, so I think I'm going to do a video series. Let me know, thumbs up, leave me a comment if you want to see a few videos on this subject, because it's just, I cannot do it all in one video, all right? But what I want to do in this particular video is I want to set the stage of how I made that leap. And it wasn't really so much a leap as it was a very long-winded journey and ultimate transition into being a full-time affiliate marketer. And not only am I that's just one of the things I do. I'm not just an affiliate marketer. I'm also getting into creating my own digital products and, actually, building my brand, which is a digital education company, really, is what my overall goal is, because that's always been, part of my dream. Affiliate marketing is just a part of that dream. So that's kind of like where I want to begin. What was that major problem that you were having that led you to get into web design to begin with? See, I didn't go to school for web design. I am not a coder. And by any means of any stretch of imagination, would I even stand next to a qualified, educated, someone that went to school and is certified web designer? I'm not that web designer. All I am is a girl who has some background in creative writing. I worked for the newspaper in high school, so I knew how to put images together and text together. And visually, I love colors. I love branding. I love bringing things to life. And so I've got that creative gene, even though I am not really great in the technical side of things. I had to kind of learn those things along the way. But underneath all that, I had one major problem that I was trying to solve. And that was, as a mom and a wife, being at home, how could I build a business that allowed me to have a life? That was my major underlying problem. See, I accidentally became a web designer. I didn't graduate from school wanting to be a web designer. I didn't have aspirations to be a web designer. My major problem was, how can I build a business or somehow make money when I am not on my computer? So it was a process. It was a journey for me to even stumble upon becoming a web designer. So let's start with that first. So basically, the way that I became a web designer was when I had my very first experience in network marketing, believe it or not. And so what happened is that I was actually working for an at-home telephone operator kind of job, working for one of these big shopping networks from home. And during my shift, I was looking at this product that they were selling that I really, really liked. It was makeup. And I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Like, this product is incredible. So I started to do some research to see if that company actually had an actual business where you can buy more of the colors from them, because they only sold 4 of the colors on that shopping network that I was working for. So anyhow, I found the company and they had a network marketing component to it. Now, back then I had no idea what network marketing was. I literally had no clue. But I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me not only can I buy this product to use it for myself, but I can actually sell it and make money on my own? Oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? So I was like, okay, I am going to sign up. I'm going to get the distributor kit. I'm going to get started and I am going to make this happen, right? I am so sick of tired of being at my desk all day long, according to their the things on their website. If I just sell enough of their product and I get enough of people to sell the product to, I will have all this leverage and I'll be making all this money and I'm going to just live happily ever after. And we all know it doesn't always work out that way, but because it does work out for some people, it just didn't work out for me, not that way. But here's what happened. What happened is that my first exposure to network marketing was actually me having a replicated website. And the only way that people could buy from me is if they put in the zip code and they would find the distributor that lived closest to them. So when I, would put in my zip code, it was like we all had the same exact website. The only thing really that changed was our headshot and our little bit of our bio. But there was really nothing that set me apart. And as someone who was also interested in working with a salesperson close to me, I'm like, I don't know who to choose. I want to work with someone whose personality I jive with. I want to work with someone who's nice. I want to work with someone who's going to actually help me. You know what I mean? And so do you see how the whole know, like, and trust factor thing is always coming into play? At least it did for me. So I saw that as a huge problem. How am I going to set myself apart? How am I going to set myself apart? I couldn't. So my husband got a great idea. He's like, why don't we build you a website? So I was like, a website? What's that going to do? And he's like, well, it's going to set you apart from all the other distributors because they're all using this replicated website and you're going to use one that is, just completely different. So I'm like, okay, sounds like a great idea. So he had some Photoshop skills and he knew how to do web design. So I was watching him build this website and I was just enamored. I was like, oh my God, look at all the pretty colors, the little designs, isn't that? So, he literally rebuilt the whole product catalog and it was just a beautiful website. And then I was so excited and I launched it, right? And then not even 3 weeks or so, maybe a month later, I got a letter in the mail from the company to cease and desist. I had to take down the website. They did not allow me to use a website for a few reasons, one of which I had the company logos splattered all over the website. But honestly, I saw other distributors doing it too, so I didn't think there was anything wrong, but it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson in branding. Don't brand the company. Don't brand the company. You got to brand yourself. So if you have a website right now that's full of company logos and all that stuff, get rid of it right now. That's one of the first lessons that I learned in my journey, okay? And so I removed them, and actually I just removed the whole website, and I was like, I'm not going to pay the company $30 to have a replicated website that really doesn't set me apart. So scratch that idea. And so I ended up just forgetting that business, but nothing's wasted. The journey tells you what you're made of. The journey teaches you. And the lesson that I learned there was I have to have my own kind of website. And I can't have all the company logos. I have to kind of sort of do my thing so that they can't take it away from me. And so after this, after my experience in network marketing, it didn't really work out at that time, all right, I was like, let me try selling something on eBay. I loved makeup. I loved fashion. I mean, it wasn't my super passion, but I liked it. It was fun. So I ended up trying to be a seller on eBay selling women's clothing. And I had the same problem. The same problem was, how do I set myself apart? Everyone is selling the same thing as me. Everyone is selling the same shirts. Everyone is selling the same stuff. How am I going to set myself apart so that people can find me on the eBay algorithm and buy from me instead of someone else? And not only that, I also saw that two people would be selling the exact same shirt. One would be selling it for like $7 and another one would be selling it for like $24. Same shirt. But what was the difference? It was the branding. It was the way they were presenting the shirt. It was the way they were presenting the listing. So I'm self-taught. I started to learn and observe these things that really stood out to me. And so I realized that unless I really got hip with understanding keywords and understanding how to get my listing to stand out and then make my listing look better, I was going to continue to struggle. And so then one day I purchased a shirt from one of the hottest sellers back in those days. She was selling the same exact stuff I was, but so much better. Her presentation was better. Her headlines were better. She had a mannequin, great lighting for her products. Buying from her store, and this is important, was an experience. It was an experience. It wasn't just going to buy a shirt. It was the experience of shopping at her store. And that is when I learned about branding and positioning, right? So far, I'm collecting these little lessons along the way. What was the big problem I was trying to solve? So this is what I'm going to ask you. What is the big problem you were trying to solve that led you to web design? The second thing is if you're struggling right now, what is the difference between a struggling web designer and a web designer who's doing well, right? For me, it was branding. It was how I was positioning myself and how I was posturing myself, which we will get into in another video in this series because that's really, really, really important. This is a lesson that I had to learn. And until you learn that lesson, the problems that you have now as a web designer will follow you into affiliate marketing or anything that you do. So it's super duper important. So anyhow, long story short, and to wrap up this particular video, I changed my store. I branded my store. I gave my store a name. I created a theme for my store. And I started to do my listings different. I started to change my headlines or my listing headlines. I started to change the way that I photographed what I was selling. And I made it an experience from the moment they went into my store to the moment that they received their package. I branded it all the way. It was glittery, it was pink, it was fun, and it was an extension of who I was, right? And so when I did that, I went from 0 to silver power seller in 90 days. So what was the difference? I was starting to get on track. I was starting to realize that there's something to this whole branding thing. There's something to this whole setting yourself apart and doing something different than what other people are doing. It was the lesson that I learned in my first network marketing company, and it's the lesson that continued to follow along with everything that I did. So here's what happened. This is how I launched my very first web design agency. So after my store got to do so well, guess what happened? I had other sellers contacting me. Other sellers contacting me, asking me, oh, can you design my store? Can you design my store? Can you design my store? And I saw that as an opportunity to stop eBay because honestly, I hated selling on eBay because if I wasn't listing, I wasn't getting paid. It was really expensive and they don't call it FeeBay for nothing. It just wasn't for me. I'm just not into it. But I learned things along the way. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll design your store. And that's when I launched my very first web design agency that was actually something of my own. It wasn't an affiliate thing. It wasn't a network marketing thing. It wasn't, depending on whether eBay raised their fees or not. It was mine. And so I started designing eBay stores and I went to work. But did I go to work? I actually created myself another job. So I'll leave that right here. And if you want to hear more of the story, and if this is actually helping you, let me know. I've never done like videos like this, but I'm gonna do a part 2, possibly a part 3, because I want to share with you actually the process of what I had to go through and the things that I had to learn in order to finally become, get into the affiliate marketing stuff. So the 2 points that I want you to think about, okay, is number 1, what was the one major problem, that the underlying problem that you have? And maybe it's not what drove you to web design, but it's a part of that journey. For me, my major problem was, how do I build a business that also allows me to have a life? How do I build a business where I can still make money, but not always be on my computer? So web design was a step in my journey, but it wasn't the end goal. Okay, it was part of my journey, and a very important part of my journey, and a part of my journey that actually I still love to this day, but I hated the business model. Okay, so right now, what is that one major problem that you are trying to solve? Okay, for yourself. And then the second thing is, are you setting yourself apart right now? Are you kind of like just blending in with everyone else, where you're just a web designer? Or are you branding yourself and setting yourself apart, and you do something a little bit different than everyone else? Are you creating an experience for people that can command a little more money while you figure out this transition for yourself? Okay. And then so in the next video, what I want to cover is how I had to shift from that worker bee mindset to more of a consultation mindset, where I went from just being a worker that was getting, doing web design for hire, to someone who actually knew what they were doing and could advise and consult and command a little more money. Okay, so that's what I want to cover in the next video. So before I close out this video, I'm just going to go right to the jugular and say that there's no way I could have become an affiliate marketer if I had not aligned with something that was also aligned with my strengths, my gifts, my talents. My strength, my gift, and my talent is what I told you. It was creative writing. It was being visual. And even though I wasn't the most technical web designer, I still loved it. I just didn't love the business model. So when you're looking to align with a product that is something that you want to promote, I highly encourage you to make sure that you are aligned with something that you actually do enjoy, and that's something that highlights your strengths, your gifts, and talents. I found that program. That's another part of my story. I found that program that had to do with solving the one main problem that I had, which was building a business that also allowed me to have a life. It also allowed me to use those web design skills that I have acquired throughout the years. It also allowed me to use those branding skills that I became so passionate about, because I want to show people how to do that same thing, how to brand themselves, how to set themselves apart. So in order to do that, I needed the tools. So it just so happens that I aligned with a company that has an amazing affiliate program that brings all these puzzle pieces together. And that's when I finally was able to break through, and because I put all those puzzle pieces together. So what I'm going to do is, right below this video, I am going to put a link to the same company that I'm aligned with, all right? Because if you are a web designer, you do love what you do, but you want to switch out your business model, then this might be a great option for you. So I will have that link right below this video. I'm aligned with a company called Builderall, and I mean, it's about building websites, building funnels, building brands, building, using the tools to help you build these things for your clients, which you probably already love to do anyway. You just got to tweak your business model so that you can create more of that building a business that also allows you to have a life, because that's exactly what I did. So if you're interested in still kind of being in that web design world, but you want to expand that business model so that you can create more residual income inside of your business, which is what I wanted, I will have that link for you right below this video so you can check it out. So hopefully this video series ends up helping someone break through. If it helped you, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted the next time that I upload a video to my YouTube channel. And let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more. If you do, I'll make more in this series. If not, then I gave it a shot. I tried. I heard the pain in that voicemail. I was like, I need to address this because this is a problem that I had, and I have to give my perspective on it. So hopefully it helps someone. If it did, give me a thumbs up or give me a comment. Let me know. And my next videos, I'll bring more practical solutions for you to start tackling so that you can start making that transition from, web designer to affiliate marketer in a seamless way that just totally makes sense for you. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Again, this has been Barbie Figueroa with RiseMarketingAndDesign.com. Thank you so much for watching. I just said that twice, and I'll see you on another video. Bye.